Whether you're a beginner or someone who wants to boost your conversation skills, you're in the right place. In today's video, we're going to talk about a very important topic. Can you speak English fluently in 6 months? Yes, you absolutely can. And today I'll show you exactly how to do this, step by step. Hello guys, my name is Kate and today we're going to talk about how to speak English fluently in just 6 months. By the end of this lesson, you'll have a clear understanding of what fluency actually means, how to reach it, and how to improve both your learning time and the quality of your practice. We'll also go over common myths about learning languages and the best ways to help you succeed. What does it mean to be fluent? Before we talk about how to become fluent in English, let's take a moment to discuss what fluency really means. A lot of people misunderstand fluency and think that being fluent means you speak a language perfectly, like a native speaker, but that's not always true. In reality, being fluent doesn't mean you need to speak English perfectly. Fluency simply means you can communicate clearly and naturally without much hesitation. Imagine a river where water moves smoothly and effortlessly. That's what fluency in a language feels like. Your words come out naturally and you don't have to stop and think too much before speaking. In other words, fluency in English is about easy communication. You speak in a way that feels natural. Fluency also means confidence. You're comfortable talking about your ideas and you don't worry about mistakes. When you're fluent, you're ready to have conversations. You can talk about everyday things like your day, asking for directions, or your hobbies. Fluency doesn't mean you have to speak English perfectly like a native speaker. If you can clearly share your thoughts and understand others, you're fluent, even if you don't know every word in a dictionary or make a few grammar mistakes while speaking. That's okay. Perfection isn't your goal. Your goal is natural and effective communication. But before we dive into the concept of fluency in 6 months, please subscribe to my channel if you haven't yet and click that notification bell down below so you'll never miss any of my new videos. The concept of fluency in 6 months. Now that you understand what fluency means, let's discuss how you can achieve it in 6 months. You might be thinking, is this really achievable? The answer is yes, but it needs focus, commitment, and the right strategy. First, let's clear up a common misconception. Simply spending time learning doesn't make you learn a language faster. It's not only about the months or years you invest, but how you spend the time. Someone who studies for 2 hours every day for 6 months can achieve fluency faster than someone who only practices once a week for 6 years. It's about quality and quantity. You need to combine the two for the best results. So, how much time do you need to become fluent in 6 months? You'll need to dedicate a lot of time to learning and practicing English. But exactly how much? A good guideline is around 600 hours of focused practice. That might seem like a lot, but let's break it down. 600 hours over 6 months means about 20 hours each week, or around 4 hours each day. If you're serious about learning English quickly, you need to practice every day, like spending 3 to 4 hours every day. Sounds overwhelming, but don't worry. This doesn't mean you need to sit at a desk and study grammar for 4 hours in a row. In fact, that's not a good idea. It's better to break your practice into smaller parts throughout the day. For example, you could spend an hour in the morning listening to an English podcast or watching a YouTube video while having breakfast. During lunch, use 30 minutes to review vocabulary or read a book in English. In the evening, watch an English TV show and focus on understanding what people are saying. Spend another 45 minutes repeating new phrases or having conversations with yourself. By breaking it into smaller chunks, learning becomes easier and becomes a natural part of your daily routine. How should you use your learning time? While the amount of time you spend is important, the quality of that time matters even more. You could spend 5 hours passively listening to English with no focus, or just spend 1 focused hour practicing specific skills. The focused hour will give you much better results. So, how do you improve the quality of your learning time? 1. Focused practice. Instead of just passively listening to English, actively pay attention. Try to understand what people are saying. Notice how sentences are put together and repeat important phrases out loud. 2. Speaking practice. You must practice speaking if you want to become fluent. Reading and listening are important, but speaking is the only way to develop fluency. Find a language partner or a tutor to practice with, or even talk to yourself. 3. Accessible learning materials. Use materials that match your level. They should challenge you but not be so hard that you feel lost. 4. Emotional engagement. The more you enjoy the process, the faster you'll learn. Pick topics that excite you and make learning enjoyable. Watch your favorite movies in English, read about your hobbies, or listen to English music. Remember, you don't need a huge vocabulary to be fluent. A common myth about fluency is that you need to know thousands and thousands of words, but that's not true. In reality, you only need about 4,000 common words to have everyday conversations in English. Think about it. Most of our daily conversations are about simple topics like weather, food, work, family, and hobbies. You don't need to know complicated, advanced words like conflagration or obfuscation to have a normal conversation. A smaller, focused vocabulary is far more useful than trying to memorize thousands of words you'll rarely use. Start by learning the most common words and phrases in English. As you progress, you can gradually expand your vocabulary, but if you want to get fluent in 6 months, focus on words that will help you communicate in everyday situations. The importance of listening. Train your ear to understand spoken English by practicing active listening every day. Listening is one of the most powerful tools for learning any language. When you listen to English, you're not just learning new words, you're also training your ear to understand the natural rhythm, tone, and flow of the language, which is essential for fluency. Spend as much time as possible listening to English. Podcasts, audiobooks, YouTube videos, TV shows, movies, or music with lyrics. Choose whatever you like. But remember, passive listening is not enough. You need to listen actively. Focus on how words are pronounced, how sentences are put together, and how native speakers express themselves in different situations. Don't be afraid of making mistakes. Fear of mistakes is one of the biggest obstacles to fluency. Many learners hesitate to speak because they worry about sounding silly or saying the wrong thing. But here's the truth. Mistakes are a crucial part of learning. The more mistakes you make, the faster you'll improve. Think about how children learn to talk. They make lots of mistakes, mispronounce words, mix up grammar, but they keep trying and eventually they become fluent. You need to have the same mindset. Don't be afraid to speak, even if you're not completely confident in your grammar or pronunciation. Remember, fluency isn't about perfection. It's about communicating effectively, even if you make mistakes. As long as people understand what you mean, you're moving in the right direction. To build your confidence, start practicing in a stress-free environment. Speak to yourself in English at home, practice with a friend, or use language apps to chat with people from around the world. The more you practice, the more comfortable you become. Think of learning a language like learning to play an instrument. If you want to master the piano, for example, you need to practice regularly and with focus. Pianists don't simply play a piece once and leave it behind. They repeat it over and over again until it feels natural and effortless. Repetition is key. You should approach language learning in the same way, practicing until new words and phrases become a natural part of your vocabulary. This method is known as spaced repetition, and it's one of the most effective ways to retain new information. Here's how to incorporate repetition into your daily English practice. Review vocabulary regularly. Go over the words and phrases you learned the day before. Use tools like flashcards and language learning apps, or write words down in a notebook and review them throughout the day. Revisit what you've learned at different times to strengthen your memory and understanding. Use new words and sentences. When you learn a new word, start using it right away. Try making different sentences with the same word throughout the day. For instance, if you learn the word challenge, you might say, "Learning English is an exciting challenge." "I faced a challenge at work today," or "This exercise is a good challenge for improving my skills." Practice speaking out loud. Don't just create sentences in your mind. Say them aloud. This helps you get comfortable with the sound of your voice speaking English and boosts your confidence. The more you practice speaking, the smoother and more natural it will become. Repeating a word or phrase often helps you remember it more easily in the future. Review past lessons as you keep learning. Revisit previous materials regularly to strengthen your understanding. Language learning isn't a straight path. You need to go back and review to truly master it. Remember, repetition isn't boring. It's how your brain absorbs and remembers new information. Immerse yourself in English by surrounding yourself with the language whenever possible. Immersion is one of the fastest ways to learn a new language. When you immerse yourself, your brain is constantly engaging with English, which accelerates learning. And the best part? You don't need to live in an English-speaking country to do this. When you learn a new word or phrase, don't just look it up and forget about it. Use it in your daily life and create an English-rich environment. Here are some practical ways to immerse yourself, no matter where you live. Change your surroundings to English. Start by setting your phone and computer language to English. This is a small but powerful step. Changing the language settings on your devices can help you get used to reading and navigating in English throughout your day. Watch TV shows and movies in English. Start with subtitles in your native language if needed, but gradually switch to English subtitles, and eventually no subtitles at all. Pay attention to how people speak and practice repeating sentences out loud. Listen to English podcasts or audiobooks on topics that interest you to stay engaged. You can listen while cooking, exercising, or doing household chores. It makes a big difference. When you're in the kitchen, try to think and speak in English about what you're doing, like saying, "I'm boiling water," or "I'm chopping vegetables." In the living room, you could say, "I'm sitting on the sofa," or "I'm watching TV." In the morning, try simple things like "the sun is shining" or "I'm drinking coffee." These small habits can make a big difference in building your fluency. Find an English-speaking community. Even if you don't live in an English-speaking country, there are a lot of ways to connect with people to practice. For example, join online language exchanges. There are some platforms which pair you with native speakers who want to learn your language while helping you practice English. Find a friend or use language apps to chat with people from around the world. The more you practice, the more comfortable you'll become. You can also look for local groups near you. On social media, join Facebook groups or follow Instagram accounts focused on English learning. You'll meet people with the same goals, share tips, ask questions, and practice together. The key is to use English in real-life situations. The more you speak with others, the quicker you'll overcome any nervousness and get comfortable thinking and responding in English on the spot. The 4 important skills. To become fluent in English in 6 months, you need to work on all 4 core language skills: listening, speaking, reading, and writing. Each skill supports the others, and together they help you achieve overall fluency. Let's break down how to practice each skill effectively. Listening. Listening is crucial for understanding native speakers and learning pronunciation, intonation, and the natural flow of conversations. Make listening to English a daily habit. Podcasts, audiobooks, TV shows, and YouTube videos are excellent resources. Practice active listening. Pause the audio, repeat what you hear, and mimic the speaker's pronunciation and rhythm. This helps you improve both your comprehension and speaking skills. Speaking. Why is it important? Speaking is the most direct way to build fluency. The more you practice speaking, the more natural and automatic your English will feel. Speak every day, even if it's just to yourself. Describe your daily activities, describe what you're doing, or talk about your plans. The more you practice speaking, the more comfortable and confident you'll become. If you can't find someone to practice English with, record yourself speaking and listen to it later. This will help you notice areas for improvement, such as pronunciation or grammar mistakes, and give you a sense of your progress. Reading. Why is it important? Reading helps you expand your vocabulary and reinforces the grammar and sentence structures you're learning. Start with materials that match your current level. For beginners, it's great to use children's books or simple news articles. As you progress, challenge yourself with more advanced texts, such as novels, blogs, or professional articles. Read out loud to improve both your reading comprehension and speaking skills. Writing. Writing allows you to organize your ideas, reinforce your understanding of grammar, and grow your vocabulary. It's also a useful skill for everyday activities like sending emails, taking notes, or posting on social media. Start by keeping a daily journal in English. Write about your day, your thoughts, or your plans. It doesn't need to be long. Just focus on expressing yourself in English. Keep a vocabulary notebook. Whenever you come across a new word, write it down with a simple definition and an example sentence. This will help you remember the word and learn how to use it naturally. Go back and review these words. It will gradually expand your vocabulary. Practice writing simple emails or messages in English. If your friends are also learning English, try chatting with them through text or emails. You can also join online forums or social media communities where you can participate in written conversations in English. This kind of interaction is a fun and practical way to improve your writing skills. Remember, it's not just about the amount of time you spend, it's about the consistency and quality of your practice. How to stay motivated. Learning English in 6 months is an ambitious goal, and it's natural to face challenges along the way. Some days you might feel frustrated or discouraged, especially if you don't see immediate progress. Here are some tips to stay motivated. Tip number 1, set small, achievable goals. One of the biggest reasons why people lose motivation is because their goals are too big. If your goal is something like, I want to speak English fluently, that can feel impossible to reach. Instead, break your big goal into smaller, more manageable goals. For example, you could aim to learn 5 new vocabulary words each week or practice speaking for 10 minutes every day. When you set small, achievable goals, you'll feel a sense of progress, a sense of satisfaction more often, which will motivate you to keep going. Tip number 2, change your study routine. If you've been studying the same way for a long time, you might just be bored. Try switching up your routine to make learning more interesting. Instead of always using a textbook, watch a movie in English or listen to music with English lyrics. You could also try learning with apps, playing language games, or reading a book you enjoy in English. The key is to make learning fun again. When you enjoy what you're doing, you'll be more motivated to stick with it. Tip number 3, focus on what you love about English. Think about when you first began learning English. What made you happy about it? Was it the idea of traveling to an English-speaking country? Was it being able to understand movies, books, or music in English? Maybe you were excited to talk to people from other cultures. Whatever it was, try to reconnect with that feeling. Remembering why you started learning English can help you stay motivated. Tip number 4, take breaks when you need to. Sometimes the best thing you can do is take a break. If you've been studying a lot and you're feeling tired or burned out, it's okay to take some time off. Resting can help you come back to your studies with fresh energy and a new perspective. Just be careful not to take too long of a break. Set a time limit for yourself. Maybe you take a day or 2 off and then get back to learning. The important thing is to listen to your mind and your body. If you're feeling overwhelmed, a break can be exactly what you need. Tip number 5, remind yourself of your progress. It's easy to feel like you're not improving, especially if you're focused on what you still don't know. But if you look back at where you started, you'll realize how much you've already learned. Maybe you can now understand basic conversations or read simple texts in English. Those are big achievements. Keep track of your progress by writing down what you've learned or recording yourself speaking. When you're feeling unmotivated, look back at your progress and remind yourself how far you've come. Tip number 6, don't be too hard on yourself. Finally, remember that learning a language is a journey. It's okay to have ups and downs, and it's normal to lose motivation sometimes. Don't be too hard on yourself if you're not making progress as quickly as you'd like. You can do it. Fluency in English is possible with constant effort, daily practice, and the right mindset. You can achieve fluency in just 6 months. Remember, the journey to fluency isn't just about memorizing vocabulary and grammar. It's about building confidence, improving your communication skills, and enjoying the process. Stick to your plan, practice daily, and embrace the experience of learning. Progress will come steadily, challenges will come, but they're part of your journey. Every new word you learn, every conversation you have, and every sentence you write brings you closer to fluency. As you approach the 6-month milestone, you'll likely find that English has become a natural part of your life. You'll start thinking in English, speaking with confidence, and understanding more than you ever imagined. This is the ultimate reward, not just fluency, but the ability to connect with others, explore new cultures, and express yourself in a new language. In the end, it's about more than language. It's about opening doors to new opportunities. Remember that learning a language is not just about reaching a final destination. It's about enjoying the small victories along the way. So keep going, stay positive, and most importantly, believe in yourself. You can do this. Wishing you the best on your journey to English fluency. Thank you for watching this video. Please subscribe to my channel if you haven't yet and click that notification bell down below so you'll never miss any of my new videos. See you next time.